exciting news. I'm gonna go pick up the car trailer and we're gonna go pick up a new car today. So I don't want to give away too much about the car that we're gonna go pick up right now, but I will tell you that it is a stick shift rear-wheel drive car, and if everything goes according to plan, I'm like 100% sure I'm buying this car. So unless there was something in the ad that was completely misleading, and I talked to the guy on the phone, he seems pretty straightforward, but you know, if I get there and they were old pictures and the car is like way too damaged or something like that, because it's pretty cheap. He says mechanically there's nothing wrong with it. The transmission works fine. So, I mean, the outside looks really clean. The inside, not so clean. But, you know, that's easily fixed. You know, if everything else works, then, you know, or is in good shape, we're good to go. Okay. Yeah, right now I just got to go pick up the car trailer, and then we got like a 4-hour car ride to there to go pick this thing up. So, and there's another reason I want to get this car, and I'm picking it up so cheap, or looking for a car that's cheap, is I'll let you guys know later in the video, but I got something kind of in the works that I want to pull off, and I think I can pull it off. I just got to figure out whether or not it's going to work. So we'll go get this trailer real fast, and we'll get down there, and then I can show you what this car is. It's not gonna be your typical. It's not gonna be your typical drift car. It's a cool concept for a drift car. So, and it won't take very much work, I don't think, to make it very usable as a drift car. So. Alright, so I just picked up the trailer. We're gonna go ahead to pick up a buddy of mine. He's gonna road dog with us to go get this car. You know, it's always good to bring somebody, man. But you know, I'm so excited. I don't know what it is about buying a new car, man. It's always so exhilarating. You know, I couldn't even sleep last night, man. So I'm super pumped about it. I wish I could have went and got it last night. Super pumped about this. I haven't bought a car in a very, very, very long time. Alright, so just picked up Josh, and we're gonna head out. So that's him. So he's kind of more of a subject matter expert on what we're gonna go pick up today than myself, so it's kind of nice to have him with me. Don't tell him that though. Alright, so you haven't seen the outside of the car yet, but you can kind of see what's going on. Like I said, the interior is pretty thrashed. I definitely like it. Oh boy, it needs a new windshield, and interior's like I said, pretty thrashed. It's kind of weird. Needs like a shift knob. A little squishy, but it's to be expected. Only has 128,000 miles on it, so that's not that bad. Driving through something right now. I have no idea. It looks like a crime scene. Jesus Christ. There's cops everywhere. Looks like somebody got murdered or something. Trying to find a fucking place to kind of pull over and show you guys the car real quick. All right, so let me show you what I'm gonna pick up today. So here it is, Cadillac CTS. Not a V, I know, but it's a V6 with the 5-speed, wheels, tires. Definitely, I think worth the price. So let me go get this dude paid, because I want to, before he changes his mind. There's a lot of interior stuff that needs to be done, but for the most part, I like it a lot. Definitely worth $1,500. So, all right, dude. Fucking stoked. I'm gonna try to I gotta go back to that crime scene and hope, like, there's no registration on this thing, so hopefully we don't get pulled over. So, all right. I don't know, but yeah, I'm super pumped on this thing. I think for the price, black car, some decent 17-inch wheels on it, I think this is a score. The interior stuff can be fixed. A lot of the engine stuff can be sorted if there is any. I know there's a check. Well, the check engine light just went off, so I don't know. He said it just came on, but we'll see. I don't really care. I can fix the check engine light. So here we're going through this crime scene. Oh, it's got a sunroof. That's dope. I don't know what this is, but I'll find parts for it. Oh yeah. Yep. Load her on the trailer. She's mine. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to pass, bro. Yeah? Yeah, no, I'm just playing. Yeah, let me get you the money and we'll get her loaded up, man. Down that way. I hope I don't run this dude's dog over.
Dude, those Mexican dogs are smart. I know what's
They're
up.
survivors.
I shouldn't even fucking pop the trunk, probably never paid attention, dude.
Look, I could have ended up with that DeWalt, bro.
I know, my bad. I could end up with the ammo. Good times.
Yeah, good times. Alright, so some of you guys might be thinking, why the hell did I buy a Cadillac CTS and not the V? Well, one reason would probably be that they're like 10 grand. And this was $1,500 with a manual. I mean, there's not very many cars that you can get in an 03 or actually just in general for about that amount of money with a manual transmission. So it was kind of a no-brainer. I think these have untapped potential. The reason I think that is because these cars came from the manufacturer with LSs in them. I'm not going to V8 swap this one yet. If you were going to get a car to do an LS swap, I mean, this car is a no-brainer. You can get these for $1,500 with blown engines, blown transmissions all day long, and swap in a 6.0 or a 5.3 and do like a CD09 or like a 350Z transmission like I have in the RX-7, and you're into the swap, you know, $3 grand with the car, you know what I mean? So minus suspension and all that, but still it makes way too much sense, and you should be able to use, you know, a lot of OEM stuff. There should be OEM headers that bolt onto it, that clear everything, motor mounts, all that stuff. So the swap should be cheap. I haven't researched it, so, but I would assume that it's readily available parts, you know, Rock Auto, AutoZone, and be able to pick up dirt cheap parts, or even eBay or Amazon, and to pull this swap off. Now, would I suggest doing that if you're just getting into drifting? No, I'd try to get something more like this with the running V6 and a manual swap, or just a manual in it already, but just to get out there and actually get some seat time. But you compare this car to, say, like a BMW E36, right? They're about the same weight. This one actually makes a little bit more power. And then also, if you get because this is a 3.2 liter, if you get the 3.6 liter, it's like 250 horsepower and 250 foot-pounds of torque. You know what I mean? That's BMW M3 numbers, you know what I mean? For dirt cheap, you know? So I know there's not as much maybe suspension aftermarket for this. You know, there's a couple choices for coilovers. BC makes a set, which you can never go wrong with BC. Drift Knuckles makes modified knuckles for it, and then you can just modify the stock ones. And you know, I got to dive into more on the suspension arms and stuff for the rear once we get some squat going. But I think, like, overall, it's not a bad place to start. I mean, what car are you gonna get that's this straight? Yeah, there's some interior problems, but that's all fixable. You know what I mean? This thing's straight. Needs a wash. It's got AC. It's got heat. It's got all the creature comforts. You go to an event, you can have a good time in this and not even sweat it. You know, literally. So, and that's the other thing too. Who's going to the junkyard to go get CTS parts? Nobody. So, you shouldn't have to be fighting with anybody yet. I'm pretty excited to start this journey. So let me kind of tell you what we're gonna do today. Is, for one, I'm gonna try to get the VIN inspection to get it plated, get a smog done, get it washed. All right, so first on the agenda is we're gonna take the CTS to O'Reilly's or AutoZone and get a free scan and see if there's any other underlining check engine codes, or if it's not, run to its monitors before we go and get it smogged, because whether it passes or fails, or you get an incomplete, you have to pay for a smog in Nevada. So we're gonna go make sure that it's ran its monitors. It drives pretty nice, and we're actually gonna get it up to highway speeds. Was that fast? It's got really tall gears in it. I'm gonna have to research what the gear ratio is. It feels like somewhere in the 3s. And they're not very short. So I know, like, in the FC, they're like 411. So like first gear is almost non-existent. This feels like way taller. I'm in like 4th gear doing 45, and I'm like at 2,000 RPMs. So. Alright, so good thing we went and got that checked, because we came up with some codes, even though the check engine light's not on. And so we got about 4 codes. We got some random misfire codes on cylinder 1 and 2, and a P300, which is random. So we're gonna go wash it, we're gonna drive it, we're gonna put some good fuel in it. I think we're gonna put some 91 and see if that doesn't correct some of the misfiring issues. If it's not fuel related, I'm just gonna get some spark plugs for it, do all 6 spark plugs, and see if that helps the random misfire. I'm gonna go get some fuel real quick. Put some 91. We're gonna take it on the highway for the first time, do highway speeds, and see how the alignment is. It doesn't feel like it's misfiring. I don't know, like, it doesn't stumble. You would think that a misfire in a V6 on 2 cylinders would, you know, be pretty noticeable, you know? It's almost 50% of the cylinders, so I don't know, we'll see. So went and got the VIN inspection. That's all good. So I'm gonna go pick up some spark plugs and a valve cover gasket, and we're gonna go over to Sterling's house, and we're probably just gonna work on it there. Oh, that's my wife. I'm just gonna ignore it. Oh, even better. I don't know who it is.
Is there just enough just to move it over to my side? Or even better.
But see, this is the problem. Right here.
Have you can't like angle it out?
No.
Oh fuck. What a stupid
Design?
yeah, look.
I had it all the way up like this, and you can't get it out. So you pretty much have to loosen up.
Oh, it's so close too.
Yeah.
It's so close. And then you got more star fucking dudes down there. God damn it. Oh, let me make sure I even have that tool, bro.
Alright, so we got it back together. Kind of did a bad job of filming, but at least it's back together. We got the spark plugs changed, the valve cover gaskets done. It was pretty involved. We had to take pretty much the intake manifold off to do the valve cover gaskets. That wasn't fun. Yeah, we're gonna go take it for a rip real quick and see if it made any improvements. We cleared the codes and we'll see if they can start coming back. All right, so no codes have come back yet. After resetting it and doing a test drive, it seems to be mildly better. I don't know. You know, you always kind of think like whatever you do makes a big difference in the way a car works. You know, like when you change the oil, you're like, oh man, it gave me like 3 extra horsepower. I can feel it in the butt dyno. Or if I made a difference or what, well, it feels better. Spark plugs probably helped. It feels a little smoother. So I'm not crazy.
Yes.
I'm not crazy. You're crazy. You're crazy.
No.
You're a wild man. Just be quiet and eat your goldfish. I will say this car stops very well.
Yeah.
Huh. Alright, good morning everybody. This is day 3 into the CTS that we just picked up a couple days ago. So this is kind of priority over the RX-7 right now because I want to daily drive this. I could daily drive it right now, but I want to obviously get it to pass smog and then get the registration. I just have the 30-day on it right now. Yesterday we did the valve cover gasket and I think we repaired some vacuum lines and stuff that was causing some of the codes. So that's another thing I want to do today is drive it long enough so it can run through its monitors and see if any of those check engine lights come back on. As of now, none of them have come back. I've probably put at least 30 miles on it and none of them have come back. Usually misfire codes typically come back right away unless you correct the issue. So that, and then there's like an oil leak and I think it's somewhere else. Hopefully it's not a pan. I think it's somewhere around the filter and you can see right here that there's some oil leaks. So I stopped parking it in the driveway overnight. I'm just gonna put it here so we can wash it because I washed it yesterday, but we just mainly knocked off the big stuff. Sooner or later, because I think a lot of this will detail out, but I don't want to get crazy with it, you know what I mean? So quite yet. I want to get it halfway decent and then make sure I can get this thing on the road permanently. So, and then we got to get that windshield fixed. Not going to do that today. Probably clean up the interior too and then investigate that leak under there and then probably go get an oil filter and some oil and change the oil because the oil's pretty dirty. So as you can see, it's like there's black marks. So you should probably change your oil. You see the little boy? gonna probably jack this up and find out where the oil leak is coming from. I bet you it's just a disaster under there. I think it's coming from like the oil filter housing or something like that. So, all right, let's do that. So after looking for the oil leak, so since we fixed the valve cover, I thought that was the oil leak, but it seems like there's another leak, and I had a suspicion it was on the oil filter housing, and I'm pretty sure it is now. After I got up under there, there was like a loose bolt. Tighten that up, thinking that there might be something, it might be leaking out of there. Got that tight, so it's still leaking, but I tracked it down. It looks like it's coming off of the filter housing, so it's like a $7 part. So I'm gonna get this off the jack stands, run into town, go get it. It's just a little O-ring. It looks like a cat has to come out, which is like 6 bolts, and then there's like 3 or 4 bolts to get this filter housing out of there. So yeah, so we're gonna get working on that. All right, so we just got back from the parts store. Got an oil filter, an oil gasket for the housing, and some oil. We're gonna change the oil and fix that leak. Hopefully that's the leak. But I stopped by the car wash with the jack this thing up, and then like washed underneath it. There's so much oil under this thing. It's been leaking for a long time. So yeah, it was from basically the front cross member all the way to the differential, basically just covered in oil. Luckily it came off pretty easy, so it wasn't baked on there or anything, so that's a plus. So it won't be as bad to work on underneath. So so let's get into that. I only got like 45 minutes to an hour worth of sun, and then it's gonna get real cold, so I want to get this knocked out super fast. So oil filter housing right there, and looks like I gotta take this cat off to have enough room to get up there to take that housing off. So all right. But if you can see, I got that, there's a 12mm Allen socket inside that housing. So there's a plug on the outside. I took that off already, and then I was like, why isn't this thing coming off? So I had to Google it real quick. So if I had to Google it, it's not common knowledge, I would assume. So or just that obvious. So or I'm just dumb, I don't know which one it is. But anyways, there's another 12mm Allen inside of that, and I think once you bust that off, then the whole housing will come off. So this is the oil filter housing O-ring that I was talking about, where I think it's leaking. Alright, so earlier in the video I mentioned there was another reason why I wanted to pick up the CTS besides the ones I already listed. I'm actually thinking about putting on a Gambler 500 24 hours of lemon style event, meaning like you get the cheapest drift car you can find and you just go out and have as much fun as you possibly can. So this video is getting pretty long, so I decided to make it its own separate video. I think it kind of deserves it because there's so much that needs to be explained in there with the rules and all that. So if you guys are interested in an event like that, or you know, just curious about what it is, go over. I'm gonna put a link up and a link in the description. So if you guys are interested, go head over to that video and check that out and let me know what you guys think. All right, so I kind of wanted to end this video a little bit different. Usually, you know, we're in the garage or in the driveway or at an event, and I rarely ever get to take the car out and go anywhere. With the CTS, it's a little bit different because it's registered and insured and stuff like that, so, or at least a moving permit. So I wanted to come up here and check out the scenery. We're in the mountains above Reno. Little change of scenery is nice. So I want to kind of go over my final thoughts. Unfortunately, we did not fix the oil leak when we replaced the gasket on the oil filter housing. I think it's actually the crank position sensor O-ring. That's the only thing in that area that I know could leak. So unless there's something somewhere else, but it seems up higher. But I've fixed every seal in that area with the valve cover and all that. So but I'm out of time for this video. I want to get this out for Monday. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go get it smogged or anything like that, but none of the codes are coming up, so probably later this week I'll go and get it smogged. Final thoughts on the overall purchase of the car. So I mean, the car's pretty straight. The motor seems to be running well. The transmission works really good. So I think for 1,500 bucks, it was definitely worth it. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, drives really nice. The motor seems to run well. It's not a powerhouse by any means, but it feels spunky. Transmission shifts good. It's nice to drive a smooth driving stick shift car on the road. You know, the drift car is a little rough. I like it, but you know, totally two different things, apples and oranges. So I'm really excited to kind of go down this path with this thing. So another thing I want to talk about is future plans. So obviously we're going to get the interior dialed in, get that working, and get all the quirks and bugs fixed, and because I want everything to work in this thing and be nice, but I also wanted to get sideways and stuff. So we're gonna weld the diff, put some coilovers on it. You know, let me know in the comments what you'd like to see me do. Another thing, also let me know what you guys think about using a CTS as a potential seat time drift car. Maybe even building it pretty crazy. I think there's a lot of benefits. So let me know what you guys think on all that. You know, cheaper wheel drive car, easily LS swapped, you know, all that stuff. So all right, I think that's where I'm going to end this video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.